Good morning. Here's your update for March 18th from Coronavirus Central, as I like to call it. I'll start with this figure because I forgot to present it yesterday. It's a figure of the prevalence per 100,000 in the United States, just showing the growth that we're having since March 12th. So this is March 12th to March 18th. Really nice looking quadratic trend. It's starting to, where the rate is increasing pretty quickly here, as you can see, but that's to be expected based on the data I've been showing you the last few days. So this should be March 18th, not because today's the 18th, not the 17th. Yesterday I colored it green because of St. Patrick's Day, but those just try to bring us to a sense of normalcy. I highlighted in blue all the countries that have these prevalence rates that are extremely high. For instance, Italy, it's 43 per 100,000. So prevalence, again, means active cases divided by the population of the country. Now, again, these are the best estimates of the population, and the number of cases change rapidly. So this is a snapshot, and this is using the Johns Hopkins University database, which I've shared before. I added Luxembourg because my cousin lives in Luxembourg, and so that's why it says NA changed from yesterday. There's no data from yesterday that I calculated. So all these countries here have prevalence rates that are higher than 10 per 100,000. And then this is ever diagnosed. So this includes people who either died or who are no longer, who are cured, I suppose you could say. And this is our change from yesterday. So Italy's changed by about 5 people per 100,000, and so has Switzerland. So they seem to be growing at a more rapid rate than others. And these are the odds this is a tough one because it's really the odds of encountering somebody who's active with coronavirus right now as for being diagnosed, because they have to have been diagnosed. So they're pretty low, but again, the odds are I'd rather give you something like an odds ratio to compare two different countries. This is case fatality, or this is the probability of dying if you're diagnosed with it. So it's actually 8% in Italy, and most places it's around, it's 4.5 in Spain, 6 in Iran. So you can take a look at these different values here. 1% in Switzerland. And so let's go to our country here, the United States. For those of you who are in the United States, right now we have 1.93 cases per 100,000. And let's see, what is this again? A change from yesterday, about half a person change per 100,000 from yesterday. And then looking at these odds are too small to even comprehend. It's a change of about case fatality is about 1.75%. So it's still pretty low compared to a lot of other countries. Looking within the United States, you can see that still the worst case scenario is in the state of Washington, where the prevalence is about 12.25 per 100,000. versus New York, which is 8.68 per 100,000. So these are areas that you probably want to avoid. Massachusetts as well as 3.11 per 100,000. In terms of case fatality, you have some zeros here because right now we have no reported deaths in Pennsylvania or Massachusetts, although that could change at any time. Let's see, case fatality is worse in the state of Washington, but again, you have to recall that it was very localized. This outbreak in Washington State was very localized. There were a lot of people who died in that one, I believe, in nursing home. Florida's interesting to me because the age of the population is a great place to retire. So you still have 3.2% per. This is case fatality, 3.2%. My odds ratio was comparing New York and Washington State. I would say the odds of encountering a person with COVID-19 in Washington State versus New York, there's a 41% increased odds of encountering somebody with COVID-19 in Washington State compared to New York, and this is your confidence interval here. Now, if we compare that to yesterday we were at 2.229, so it's New York's catching up. New York is catching up. Again, what should you do right now? Don't go out unless you have to go out. Stay home. There's a lot of things you can do. I know it can be boring sometimes to be at home all the time, but I've been catching up with a lot of work. Catch up with work, do some reading, do some exercising indoors, sit-ups, crunches, push-ups, ride your bicycle if you have one indoors. If you go outside, go for a nice walk somewhere. Go out if you have to, like buy groceries, whatever you need to buy, gas, etc. Those things can keep on going on. Make sure you wash your hands thoroughly, about 20 seconds. Make sure you can sing the happy birthday song twice if you like. Wash your hands with liberal amounts of soap. Don't die over hand sanitizer. Don't die over toilet paper. Just get what you need, and then come back. And we're all changing right now. By the way, this is a really interesting moment in our history where we're hitting the reset button. We've done this before in my life. In 9/11, we hit the reset button. So it's time to hit the reset button and see if we can change things for the better. I mean, before we go back to school, maybe we can rethink about issues such as bullying and things like that affect a lot of people. And I see it all the time, whether it's in schools or even in politicians in your workplace. So let's hit the reset button and see what kind of things we can change about ourselves and others during this period. All right, thank you very much, and have a safe day.